Broadcasting live from the Albay PIO News Center, providing you the most exclusive news update from all over the province. This is 12 o'clock Newsbreak. In the local scene, the provincial government of Albay, through its concerned departments, convened yesterday for a rapid assessment of the situation following the onslaught of Tropical Storm Enteng. The meeting focused on evaluating reported damages and planning possible support for affected families in various cities and municipalities across the province. The Provincial Social Welfare and Development Office, PSWDO, and the Albay Public Safety and Emergency Management Office, APSEMO, have initially recorded 931 affected families, totaling 3,296 individuals who are staying in 16 evacuation centers from 33 barangays in the cities and municipalities of Balilipot, Daraga, Kamalig, Ginubatan, Villar, Uwas, Pulangi, Piudaran, and Libon. The Provincial Health Office PHO has also reported 754 stranded individuals at the ports of Tabaco and Piudaran. Damages across the different sectors, including infrastructure and agriculture, will be consolidated to determine the necessary interventions and support. The assessment was led by the Office of the Governor and Provincial Administrator Divina Gracia B. Baniares, alongside with the heads of the APSEMO, PSWDO, APAO, PHO, PGSO, PPDO, and PIO. Another story, as part of the initiative led by the Provincial Social Welfare and Development Office, the Special Drug Education Center team has approved the request to expand its membership to include representatives from non-governmental organizations and national government agencies. Invitations will be sent to potential new members whose mandates include providing assistance to youth and children. Organizations such as TESDA, Children International, APAO, DOLE, Kiwanis, PNP, PIAP, YMCA, and other youth organizations through PYDO, along with various NGOs and NGAs, have been identified as potential new members. An orientation will be held for the invited new members, where they will discuss the services and assistance they can offer, resource mobilization, and their commitment. In the national scene, a hike in fuel prices is expected this week of September following last week's price rollback. In a public advisory released by Sea Oil, Clean Fuel, and Shell Filipinas, the price of gasoline would increase by 50 centavos per liter. Diesel and kerosene prices would go up by 30 centavos and 70 centavos per liter, respectively. According to the Director of the Department of Energy's Oil Industry Management Bureau, Rodela Romero, this upward adjustment was a result of the escalating geopolitical tensions and a sudden halt in Libyan oil production exports, which sent shockwaves through global markets. In another story, a total of 11 people were killed in floods and landslides after Tropical Storm Yagi, with the local name Enteng, struck the country. Based on reports, 3 people, including a pregnant woman, died in a landslide in Antipolo, while 4 other bodies were recovered after being drowned in different areas in the said city. Meanwhile, in Naga City, in Bicol, 2 deaths were recorded after a baby girl was drowned and a man was electrocuted as floodwaters rose. In addition, 2 people were also killed in 2 different landslides in the central city of Cebu, as reported by the local disaster office. In other news, the province of Zambales has recorded 8 minor earthquakes in a span of 4 days, according to the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, PHIVOLCS. A magnitude 2.6 earthquake struck the said province at 3:40 a.m. on September 2, with its epicenter located at 25 kilometers west of Cabangan town with a depth of 5 kilometers. On the same day, just after 4 minutes has passed, a magnitude 2.3 tremor was felt 34 kilometers west in the same town with a depth of 15 kilometers. Furthermore, 3 different mild earthquakes were also felt on September 1st, with magnitudes 2.0 and 2.4. On August 31st, a magnitude 2.9 tremor was also reported in Zambales, followed by a magnitude 2.5 earthquake. Last August 30th, a series of mild tremors were also recorded, with the first quake hitting 3.1 magnitude. And in the news outside the country, about 13 people, including 4 children, were injured in the northeastern city of Zuma after a social welfare center for children and an orphanage were hit in a Russian missile strike in Ukraine on Sunday evening. Following the strike on September 2nd, overnight, Russian missiles attacked Kiev, Sumy, and Kharkiv regions using ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and anti-aircraft guided missiles. On the other hand, Ukrainian Defense Force were able to shut down the 9 ballistic missiles, 13 cruise missiles, and 20 attack drones. During this attack, Kiev Mayor Vitaly Klitschko has verified that 2 adults were injured and 4 cars were set on fire due to falling debris. And finally, in the news outside the country, a state burial was held in Poland for the remains of over 700 victims of Nazi Germany's World War II mass executions that were recently found in their so-called Valley of Death, decades after they were killed. It began with a funeral mass at the basilica in the town of Konich, followed by the interment of the remains contained in 188 small wooden coffins with red and white ribbons at a local cemetery. According to presiding Bishop Richard Casina, they wanted to give back memory and dignity to the victims of the killings in Konitz. Meanwhile, President Andrzej Duda said in a message that the death of the victims will remain in the national memory, noting that the mere reason why they were killed by the Nazis was because they were Polish. Present in the event were the relatives of the victims, local authorities, and top officials of the National Remembrance Institute. And that's all for the 12 o'clock news break, September 3, 2024. And we'll be right back tomorrow for more news updates. And thanks to our 12 o'clock news break writer, LJ Lurejo. And on the technical side, Chad Bobbies. And of course, our Provincial Information Officer, Mary Luduca Castillo. And under the supervision of our Governor, Edsel Grace Lagman, I am Greg Hallare. Thank you for subscribing.